Boro win for the first time on the opening day in a decade, beating Swansea by 1-0. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and our first Project Boro reviewing show of the season. As always, if you would much rather listen to these videos on the go, they are available on your chosen podcast provider. All links are in the description. And with this being the start of a brand new season here with the Project Boro series, which continues to grow and grow and grow, I would be much appreciated if you guys could drop a like on the video and subscribe for much more football and especially Boro related content to come throughout this whole goddamn season. But it was a good start for Boro. We've not been able to say this in 10 goddamn years, but we won on the opening day, beating Swansea 1-0, as I say, and pretty much the sort of game I predicted it would be. I said it would be 1-0 Boro. I said it would be tight. I said we'd nick it with a bit of quality, and that's not too far from the truth, in honesty. I think, albeit we weren't at our best across the park from top to bottom, I thought overall we did just enough to beat Swansea. I think it was a tale of two halves, really, in a sense that I thought we were pretty good first half. I thought Boro started relatively well, and this was the benefit of us starting with a very settled team, a team where we've got players in the right positions who have already played together in this system across pre-season, and you could tell, although it wasn't 100% across the board, there were still a few cobwebs here and there. I thought we played some good stuff, got ourselves into some decent positions in the first half, and maybe just played the wrong final ball, made the wrong decision in that crucial moment. But we looked good, we looked neat and tidy, albeit not creating anything clear-cut until 25 minutes in, when who else but Emmanuel Latilath got underway in what I hope will be the first of many goals this season. I don't know how many consecutive games he scored in now. I think it's something ridiculous. I don't know if it's 8 games, 9, 10, I don't know, but he scored in a ridiculously consecutive number of championship appearances. And it was won by Isaiah Jones, good play from left to right, from Finazaz over to Isaiah Jones, in a similar manner to what I think it was against Heerenveen in pre-season, it might have been, where he skips inside and takes 2 touches, gets brought down, and it was the correct decision to give a penalty. And there were a few nerves, Latilath, as I say, missed a penalty in that pre-season game against Heerenveen. He went to the keeper's right. It was a pretty poor penalty, but this time he went to the keeper's left and he buried it beautifully into the corner. Keeper went the right way, but was not getting anywhere near it. We had a few other opportunities in that half. Isaiah Jones was played in by Seny Dieng a bit earlier in the game from a corner directly. He tried to lob the goalkeeper. Probably should have tried to go around him, if I'm honest, but wasn't too far away. Other than that, though, not too much else for Boro in that first half. Sort of after the half an hour mark, we dropped off a little bit. Invited Swansea onto us a little bit towards the end of the first half, but happy, went in, edged it. Swansea didn't really create anything of note in the first half. However, the second half was a little bit more nervy. Now, I wouldn't say it was nervy as in Boro played badly. I think we, invited a bit of pressure on from Swansea, but in all honesty, I think when you're behind, you are gonna try and get back into the game. You have a God-given right to, and Swansea made, I think, all 5 changes pretty quickly in that second half, and Boro didn't make any until 70th minute, 70 plus minutes, and I think at this stage of the season that really makes a difference. When fitness is a bigger issue at this stage of the season, with players still getting up to speed, I think the fresh legs Swansea brought on in that second half really gave them an injection of energy and life, and they put Boro under some significant pressure at times in that second half. But although Swansea had a lot more possession and they were putting in a lot of crosses and they had a lot of corners, Seny Dieng didn't have a save to make, which brings me on to, I think, Boro's brightest spark today, and that was the defence, and not something you'd associate with Michael Carrick's Red and White Army, but, pre-season we had 3 clean sheets. We got one against Bolton, we got one against Heerenveen and Harrogate. And yeah, they can be maybe a little bit overlooked in pre-season because you're playing lesser opposition, and who cares? But Boro haven't always been known for keeping clean sheets under Michael Carrick, and our defence today I thought was absolutely outstanding. Defending the box, from Luke Ayling on the right, Lucas Engel on the left, Clark and Rav in the middle, I thought they were absolutely amazing. There was one moment in the second half where a ball was played across from right to left and Ayling threw his body in the way, and then Rav takes one in the face, and from corners and crosses, Rav and Clark especially were getting on the end of absolutely everything. The defending was brilliant in that second half from Boro, but even though our back was against the wall at times, we still had the better chances than Swansea. Finn Azaz had an effort after we broke forward, Emmanuel Latilaf winning the ball from their defender. I can't even begin to describe Emmanuel Latilaf. He might not have had his best game today, but he gives us a bit of everything, and he's a nightmare for centre-backs. They think they've won the race, they've got the ball, and then suddenly he pops in. It might have been Cabango who he pickpocketed winning the ball. He's so quick and strong, and he gets his head up and picks out Finn Azaz, who maybe was just stretching a little bit and couldn't quite get a powerful enough connection on the effort, but that was a big chance, and the biggest came at the end. And, oh God, I couldn't believe this at the time. We can all look back and laugh now, but I tell you what, had Boro conceded in the last couple of minutes, Isaiah Jones might have been the most wanted man on Teesside, because we broke forward once again. Aidan Morris, who I'll talk about, it was his full debut today, he was outstanding. He nicked the ball off Matt Grimes, who took a heavy touch, played in Isaiah Jones, and he just needs to square it. Just square the ball. Bergzog's waiting, McGree's waiting, Coburn I think was there as well. Square the ball. Tapping, 2-0. But 3 points in the bag. We can all go home happy, lessen the nerves a little bit. And he was selfish, and he tried to finish it himself. It was a weak sort of effort, albeit it was going in. The defender got back and cleared off the line, and then Swansea went back on the attack, and we had another 1 or 2 minutes of stoppage time of nerves. But luckily for him, and luckily for Boro, we hung on and got the 1-0 win. The only other chance of note, actually, this leads me on to the first half again, where I feel like the only chances either side had were through the opposition's mistakes. We capitalised on a few Swansea errors. The penalty obviously come from a poor challenge, and their only real opportunity came from an error, and it was through Aidan Morris, who played a very hospital-like ball across the back line. It was sort of halfway between Rav and Seni, and in fairness, Clark, I think, gets back and does unbelievably well to just put one of their forwards off, and then, again, Seni then throws himself into the challenge to stop the ball from going, and that was the closest Swansea came, really. But other than a few individual errors from either side, and 1 or 2 from Boro, defensively I thought we did very well, and in the end came away with a well-deserved result, I would say. And looking at the starting lineup, it was exactly the team I predicted, albeit not in the strange order that Footmob have put them in. I don't know what Footmob's done here. It's had a bit of a nightmare, really. Clark and Rav the wrong way around. Hackney and McGree in centre mid. That's wrong. Morris wasn't playing at 10, but we'll roll with it. But yeah, overall, as you can see, the back line was definitely Boro's best today. I thought Seni, although not called upon all that often, did well, as I say, threw himself in front of the ball when we had that little error at the back. Each of the back four I thought were brilliant. I thought Engel was very solid in this game. Clark and Rav have sort of picked up from where they left off last season, a centre-back partnership, which was questioned, would Lenihan come back in and stuff, but, Carrick stayed loyal to them too, and they were both brilliant, absolutely brilliant defensively. And Luke Ayling as well had a fantastic game at right back, especially second half when Swansea brought Ronald on down the left and he caused a few problems, but I thought Luke Ayling was equal to it. In the midfield, I thought Hackney and Morris did well. Morris specifically, his first game, obviously his full debut with Boro. He is officially the 1,000th footballer to put on the Boro shirt for the professional side in a professional game. And yeah, overall, apart from a little hiccup which could have gone drastically wrong, I think he's a little relieved that Dieng and Clark bailed him out. I thought he took pretty well, to the championship in his first game. I wouldn't say he looked miles off it at all. I thought he was up to speed. He looked comfortable. I think, again, this is a real benefit of Boro getting these deals done early, getting these players in for pre-season, and him having so long at the club now, a full pre-season. It just allows us to be so much more prepped. If Howson does go down with an injury, you haven't got a new signing like Morris coming in, who's never played for us before, and he only signed 3 days ago. where he could have been in a little more trouble. He might not have been anywhere near up to the job, but Boro being prepared, getting their jobs and their deals done early allows us to have players ready on the bench, on the 11, to just crack on, and I thought that's exactly what we did. The attacking players, hit and miss, I would say. Azaz was okay at times, a few opportunities where he held on to the ball too long, could have, pulled the trigger, cut inside a little bit. Isaiah Jones had his usual Marmite sort of game, albeit he, was a threat down the right, going as the penalty. Equally then, should have squared it at the end, and yeah, it was a very Isaiah Jones up and down performance, and albeit Lath, maybe wasn't his best, he got the goal, and he was an absolute menace for the Swansea backline. So yeah, can't ask much more from Malachi Lath, and he picks up exactly from where he left off with another goal, and the golden boot is inbound for Boro's striker. These were the stats then, and a lot of possession come, I think, for Swansea in that second half. Boro were, sitting back and defending their box a lot more, but you can see by the XG, Boro 2.69. We really should have put this game to bed earlier. Despite all of Swansea's possession, didn't really, damage Boro that much. The shot map, as you can see, 18 shots from Boro to 5 from Swansea. They didn't even actually have a shot on target, which I didn't realise. Boro had 5 big chances. Yeah, not a worry, but it has been an issue in the past that Boro have been extremely creative. We were the second biggest creators last season in the Championship, but equally we were in the top 5 for chances missed as well. So that's something we need to ensure doesn't happen again. But luckily we got away with it and got the 3 points this time. But positives that we are creating as much as we are and limiting Swansea as much as they were putting balls and crosses and corners in. Boro's defence dealt with them extremely well. You can see the same there. Open play XG from Swansea 0.19, barely anything. They had more luck from set pieces, although not that much. Boro's open play creativity was absolutely brilliant. So yeah, overall a good start, and to be honest, that's all that matters, at this stage of the season. For me, Boro just needed to get off to a winning start. One way or the other, last season, as we know, it took us 8 games to get our first win on the board, and the longer it goes without a win, the more pressure heaps on the players, especially after having a season as bad as last year to start with. So, yeah, to get this win was absolutely massive, and hopefully we can pick up from that now. Obviously, we've got Leeds in midweek in the Cup. That'll give a lot more of our fringe players a chance to get some minutes on the board and get their fitness a little bit more up to speed. And then Derby next weekend, which I'll be going to, which should be exciting. And as I said, we've started doing a Project Boro preview show here on the channel as well. So this will not be the only episode of Project Boro coming out this week. Midweek, you can be expecting a preview show looking ahead to Derby, my thoughts on them, my thoughts on the game, what we should look out for, and how I think we will get on. I will say I'm a little more confident given Derby's result on Friday night, losing 4-2 to Blackburn, but still, it'll be a tough game. Their first game at home back in the Championship against Boro, which obviously is a team they don't like very much. It could be a feisty one, but there'll be a Project Boro show coming at some point this midweek, so subscribe for that. And then, of course, there'll be a Project Boro reviewing show of the Derby game next weekend, as well as a vlog, because I am going to Derby, and fingers crossed I can end my away day curse and I can finally see Boro win a league game on the road. It would be an even more perfect start to the season if I could do that. But let me know your thoughts if you were there in the comment section below, your thoughts on this Boro performance overall. Without being spectacular, it was solid and it got the job done. Clean sheet's always good too. Hit a like on the video if you enjoy what you see, and subscribe for lots more to come. And if you want to see even more from me, links to my Twitter and TikTok are in the description. Do a lot of content, short form, over on them 2 platforms especially. But until next time, guys, a big thank you for watching the opening episode of Project Boro for the season. And thankfully, it's been one with a win. So let's hope we can keep this winning run going. And until next time, see you all in the next one. Up the Boro.